This video is packed full of a ton of inspiration to get you going using Dollar Tree items to create some gorgeous high-end DIYs. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and let's jump on into it. First up, I'm making over one of these circle MDF signs. So a lot of you all say you love whenever I make DIY signs for like wall decor or just hanging off of shelves or anything. So I wanted to be able to make a really cute sign using this leather. So first off, I take the circle and added some white paint. So I'm not going to paint the entire thing because I am going to be adding the leather at the bottom. So just kind of lightly brush over the top because I do want some of that brown showing through. And then I can take a sheet of the black faux leather, or online I think this is called synthetic leather, and I am gluing this just to the bottom and then cutting it off. So I'm not worried about getting it perfect. I'll tidy it up in a little bit, but I am making sure that I push it down really good into the glue just using a piece of wood. And then because this is going to be hanging on the wall, I'm going to be covering the back with some craft paper, or you could paint the back, but I don't like leaving the back with like such a colorful design, just in case anyone ever sees it. It doesn't look like a real like project or decor piece. So I did want to cover the seam, so I am gluing down some of this twine ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree. I love these fun little like different pattern or style twine ribbons that they have out. So just put that in between, and then I wanted to add a word at the top, and I recently found some gorgeous new words out at Walmart for just a few bucks. So I grabbed a few of them. I ended up using hello and painting it black to match the leather. I glued a few little leaves at the top to give it some detail, added in a jute twine hanger, put a couple of little wooden beads at the top, and then added more leaves just to cover up the little hole that it was hanging from. But I think this looks gorgeous, perfect for like a modern farmhouse look, but I think it's too cute. My Dollar Tree recently restocked all of these large chalkboards, so I grabbed a few more, and they had a few different styles, so if you do want to use them as is, they are adorable and something that really cute you can like pose with your baby or your kid. But I wanted to make like a larger piece because these are a really nice size for just $1. So I'm taking two of these chalkboards, I am gluing them together with popsicle sticks in the back, and then when I flip them around in the front, I'm going to be taking some of this like boho burlap ribbon that Dollar Tree has out, and I'm going to be covering all of the edges, and this will cover like the crack in the middle as well as the little holes that they put for the jute twine at the top, but just covering all of the edging and going through the middle, and that also is dividing it up into two. And then I'll be taking my Cricut and writing to do and reminders, and I'll be able to use this whether it's in my office or my kitchen, but a really fun place to keep notes down so I can keep track of everything. When working with like frayed burlap like this, I always like to take my lighter and kind of singe off the extra hairs. It gives it more of like a finished look. And then, like I said, just cutting out to do and reminders. If you don't have a Cricut, Dollar Tree has tons of gorgeous stickers out right now. You can definitely just place them down and kind of Mod Podge over the top of them and they'll stay down. Just like writing to do, like it will still look really nice with Dollar Tree stickers. Just try to get them in a lighter color. And then I love Dollar Tree's chalk writer, so I was able to kind of fill this out with that, and then you can wipe it off with like a wet washcloth to reuse it. Life for me is so busy right now, juggling like chores, and it's almost summer break, and my YouTube channel and all of our appointments, and it's just crazy. So if I do not write things down, I do not remember. So this is a perfect way to keep everything in one place and be able to easily remove it and update it all the time. How cute are these little mini tags with the chalkboard? They had several different styles and I thought these were really cute and had so much potential with the mini little chalkboard. So I wanted to give this a makeover. I am in love with hanging stuff off of my little farmhouse shelf in the kitchen. So I wanted to make a little menu board for that. So I pulled off the chalkboard. They were easily just to pop off. And then I am putting down some stick glue and some scrapbooking paper and smoothing that all nice and neat, like so it doesn't have any wrinkles, cutting that away and then using my sandpaper to make sure the edges are as perfect as I can get them, and that will just give me the perfect little farmhouse background. I love how this came together. I glued down the little chalkboard and then I wanted some chunky little letters to glue at the top so I wouldn't have to kind of draw them or paint them on there. So I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. I love the little font of them. They're really cute. So I spelled out menu, painted that black so it would coordinate with the chalkboard, and then glued them to the top. There's so many things you could write at the top. If you wanted to kind of write something yourself up there, you could put like how many days until summer break, how many days until your vacation, or something really cute like that and make it like a countdown with the small little chalkboard. I think that would be really cute. But I replaced the little jute rope at the top, and then using my paint marker, I kind of made some little squiggly lines around the edges just to give it a finished look, and it'll coordinate. I love the white and black. I feel like it looks really pretty together. I love putting a couple of little dots in between the swirly lines, and I just feel like that just pulls it together and gives it more of a cutesy look. One of my first and favorite places to look is in the wall art section, or where they have these Dollar Tree canvases. It's just a perfect and easiest way to add those perfect pops of color and decor pieces on a budget, but also like the easiest. You're not having to do a lot of painting. You can dress these up and make them look a little bit more high-end so many different ways. I love this print. I feel like the vases or the containers the little flowers were in were so gorgeous. It's not really like too farmhouse. It has more of like those spring colors, and I just loved it so much, but it is a little bit flimsy, so I wanted to put it on a bigger sign and dress it up a little bit more. So I am using, out of the Dollar Tree Plus section, one of these $3 bigger wooden boards. I feel like it is so worth it to elevate this piece of artwork. And then I didn't want to paint it. I wanted to add in some extra texture just to make it look a little bit nicer. So I found actually in the Crafter's Square this like beige color fabric. So I'm Mod Podging it down in the back, and yes, I add a ton because I want it to have that hard effect after it dries. I'm cutting away any of the excess, and then I'm just having to glue my canvas right down on top. And you can see it just makes it not only a bigger piece, but it's going to be so much more sturdy and last longer, take up a bigger area on your shelf, so it's going to look nicer. And you could hang this on the wall, sit on an entryway table, or any shelving that you have. You could leave this as is. I love the natural frame look, but just to elevate this a little bit more and make it blend in, I am taking some mineral colored chalk paint, just slightly dry brushing over the edges. Where I cut my fabric too short, I filled that in with some of the same matching paint, but I just love this so much more. It makes it look like a nicer, larger piece. The next project is super simple, but I picked up one of these citronella candles from Walmart. I hate getting eat up by mosquitoes in the summertime, so I always have these candles sitting out everywhere ready to light them up whenever I want them, but this was just plain black, and I knew we could make it look a little bit nicer if we added a decal on there. So headed back to my Cricut, I am using this clay colored vinyl, which I thought was a perfect color, and I cut out this beautiful little leaf out of the permanent vinyl, and I was able just to transfer it on this candle and really update it and make it look a lot better than just being plain black. It did have a little rough piece in the middle, so it did kind of indent around the center, but I was able to press it down in there, still get it to fit really nice and tight, and smoothing this on with my rubbing tool. And this is how it came together. I placed it outside on a DIY tray that I made, but super, super cute, and I love the extra detail. I always love adding in little candles or pieces that'll light up, so you can opt out for LED, but I did put a real candle in this piece. But using one of Dollar Tree's glass vase pieces, I stuck that down in the box, as well as some white rocks. The glass was actually made uneven down inside of that, so my candle wouldn't even set straight. So I had to add these rocks in there to get it to look like it was really even. So I put the candle down, added some more rocks, and Dollar Tree also has a ton of different colorful candles and different designs, so you don't have to use that off-white or cream color. But I tucked down some Spanish moss so all of my greenery wouldn't get lost down in the bottom, and just kind of spaced it out and tucked this down in there. This specific boxwood or greenery came from Walmart, but I just pulled the little tops off of the pick. Another fun way to use these boxes is to set them up and actually kind of use them as shadow boxes. So I used a couple of different sizes, the smallest two, and then printed off some pictures just off of my computer and cut them out. I tried to get them as square as possible as I could, and then I used Mod Podge to actually adhere them into the box, and then put Mod Podge over them so that it would be all covered and protected if you did want to wipe these off or dust them later on. And then after the Mod Podge dried, I did take some of Dollar Tree's little faux floral and cut a few flowers off to tuck down in the corner. If you would like to avoid any wrinkles, make sure that you do give that first coat of Mod Podge that's underneath the picture a couple of minutes to dry. You can even use a glue stick so you don't have to even wait for it to dry. And then I did super thick coats over the top of them, and that just gives it a nice finished look. And then here is the pieces I am trimming up and hot gluing them into the corner. I feel like this just turns it into, from just a normal picture frame to actually a pretty piece of decor. So whenever you display it, it just gives it that little extra touch and definitely makes it look more like farmhousey, I think. But these turned out really cute. The light is hitting it in this video, so they're kind of shiny, but they look really, really pretty in person. And then I originally thought about stacking these up and making a mini little tray, but you don't have a ton of space. So I thought it would be fun to make like a tiered planter. You could stick a lot of succulents and greenery in here. So I am stacking this up with one of the Dollar Tree candle holders. I'm using it upside down so that I can maximize that space in the bottom box. And using two of them, you could even go ahead and add the last one on the top for even more of a bigger impact. But I just tucked it in with greenery, and then I realized that the top wasn't working, so I did have to put a piece of styrofoam down in there so that I could tuck all of my succulents. And I still have some of those hanging succulents from Walmart, so I stuck those over the side. I love adding those into like every project. They just add so much detail and look really pretty, and just kept working with it until I got it how I wanted it. But a really, really cute, fun piece that I just love how it turned out. I am going to be making over this little sign from Hobby Lobby. It was marked down to $2.49. I thought that was crazy and such a good deal for like a nice real wood sign. You could still make this with a Dollar Tree wooden sign if you want to, because everything else is from Dollar Tree. But you can see that one corner was kind of pushed out of this sign, so I went ahead and pushed it all the way out. Instead of trying to tape off the frame or the edges, I just went ahead and pulled it out and knew that I could go ahead and glue it back into place whenever I wanted to, and it makes it so much easier to go ahead and paint. So I decided to go ahead and give it a few coats of paint and cover up this little phrase that said it's a good day for denim. I have been seeing these little house magnets at Dollar Tree for over a year at least now, and I've been dying to use them. They still have them out at some stores. I still see them all the time, but I knew these would be so cute on a DIY. So I was actually inspired by this little pumpkin photo off of Etsy, and it was so adorable with the little pumpkins and the plaid little line on the edges. So that's what I'm going for here, but I didn't want to make it fall, obviously. I wanted something I could use all year, so I painted the little houses black, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint those little lines on the edges. I did try to get these as straight as possible, so using my ruler to know where to start, and then this teeny tiny little tape from Dollar Tree works as a perfect little guide. I would lay down a couple strips and then peel it up so it makes the perfect little spacer and all the lines will be perfectly straight and evened out. So you'll want to choose a lighter color for the lines and then go over where they cross each other with a darker color. So I thought the steel gray, which is this medium color gray, would be perfect for this. And then I'll go over the little squares with some elephant darker gray color. The painter's tape did rip this sign a little bit because it did have paper. The quote was actually written on paper of the Hobby Lobby sign, so I did have to kind of sand it down and touch up the paint, so definitely watch out for that. So it might be nice if you do use a Dollar Tree sign where it's just the MDF. And then I had a gray Sharpie, so I did try to go ahead and outline these little squares, so I didn't get out of the lines, but like I said, filling this in with some elephant gray chalk paint. Now it's time to put all of the little houses in place, and I wanted to make them really cute and decorate them up a little bit. So I have these little wooden hearts, and they came in this variety of pack that I did pick up from Dollar Tree, and gluing those down in place, and then I'll be putting this back inside of the frame. I cannot believe for $2.50 it's so awesome to get signs like this that are like really nice quality in a beautiful frame, and it is so easy to make these over. I just tapped it back inside of the frame and then put on a few little dots of hot glue to hold it in place, but I love this. I feel like it's something that definitely can be used year-round, but you could dress this up or style this with any type of seasonal decor as well. My Dollar Tree has had out these metal welcome circles for a couple of weeks now, so I was wanting to use one. I thought it would be really fun to kind of make like, I'm not sure what they called, but kind of like a dream catcher, how people like hang them up with all the lace coming off of the bottom. I feel like that would be so beautiful. So you can see I'm cutting long strips and then looping the strings through itself to create a tight hold on the bottom of this. And I'm using a ton of yarn and just mixing up ribbons. I love the lace as well as some of this shiny ribbon. It all looks really, really good together, and I even added in some of the burlap ribbon later on, and I feel like it just looks really pretty in all of the colors, but they're neutral, but they're different colors, look really, really good together. This little greenery garland, which came off of a garland from Hobby Lobby, and these little Amazon flowers and roses seem to be a theme in this video, but I just love how they look. I feel like it's the perfect like chic farmhouse boho look that I'm going for. I just attached a hook at the top, but I feel like this is such a fun piece. It kind of has a romantic look to it, so definitely something that you could hang in a bedroom or by an entryway. Okay, so I was just inside Dollar Tree and they had a ton of these little wooden wedding signs again. And I have used these before. I made a little fence for fall and I had to put it up after fall, obviously, but I was missing it. So I thought it would be fun to try to make a spring version. I also thought it would be really cool to make kind of like a more plain version that I could display and actually use like for some height in the background of my decor. But to make this, I ended up picking up 4 of the little wedding signs. I peeled the stands off the back and then place them in a row and putting them together with some paint sticks. These are the jumbo paint sticks from Walmart. You get like 3 in a pack for just over $1. I cut them down with my saw and miter box, which is hands down one of my favorite things to be using right now. I've owned this for years. I just recently picked up a new one, so it'll be all pretty for filming, but I highly recommend having one of these because I love working on these small wood projects. So I got these all glued together. I recommend using some type of wood glue if you have longer. I'm just putting this together with hot glue, and then I wanted mine to kind of look rustic, so I go ahead and give it a coat of the dark gray elephant color chalk paint, and then I'll be going over it with some white. I do end up covering most of this with white, but that gray is going to give it that tiny bit of contrast that you can see versus if I would have just left it white. And I am in love with like the boho farmhouse look, so I'm trying to add in greenery and like lots of textures to all of my projects. I just didn't want to hot glue this entire piece down because I thought I later might pull it off, so I decided to just glue it to itself and then just put a little dot of hot glue behind it. And then I could not believe it, I found this gorgeous wood hello word from Dollar Tree, and I was able to just set it on the fence and it set there so that I'll be able to remove it if I want to, and you'll see later on in the beauty shots me displaying it just plain. But I love how this turned out. It's too cute and inexpensive to make this gorgeous fence for spring. So the first thing that caught my eye on the website was these handcrafted vases, and they are like this gray scale. They have the floral on there as well as some different designs, and then it's kind of like gray at the top with some lighter and darker gray colors. So I found this black floral wallpaper at Dollar Tree or contact paper, and I thought it was perfect for this. So I grabbed a large glass vase and then some of this, and I wrapped it around and cut it down to size. I made sure there was enough to wrap all the way around. And the funny thing about this is the vase is kind of like odd shaped. It's not perfectly straight, so this does like wrinkle and it doesn't fit perfect, but that actually works out for your benefit. It adds a ton of texture, and I really love how it turned out. So I just went with it. I didn't care or obsess over all of the wrinkles. I did take my scraper and try to press them down as much as possible, but then after I added in the paint and I add Mod Podge later, it really all blends in and looks gorgeous. So to match the photo or the original product, I use this medium color gray. This is the Steel Color by Waverly Chalk Paint, and I'm just dabbing it all over the top of this vase. Now I want this to be super thick and look ceramic. Sometimes I add baking soda in my paint to make it super thick and look more like a ceramic piece, but today I didn't do that. I just decided to add it extra thick. I did a couple of coats of that, and I really love how it turned out. And then after that had completely dried, I took a little bit of a darker gray color, which is the elephant color, and then kind of dabbed that all over, including even getting it on the contact paper. So it just all blended in and all matched, and the paper wasn't super white. I let the paint completely dry, and then I went over with a thick layer of Mod Podge, and that just kind of sealed in everything. It also kind of flattened down the contact paper and it sealed it, and it just looks like it's all kind of the same texture. But I put some dried floral in this. This would be perfect for fall, but such a beautiful, fun DIY. This next project was about $18, so not super pricey, but if you make it yourself, you're able to customize it, and I think I made it for maybe around $4, including the wall decal stickers that I'm using for this. But I'm using the same paint stir sticks from Walmart. I love these so much, and I am using one of the largest flat canvases at Dollar Tree that they have, and cutting down the paint sticks. I'm going to be putting one at the top and the bottom. I flipped everything upside down, and then I'm going to be connecting these with some Hobby Lobby pieces of wood. These are the Dollar Tree stickers that I chose. They say be patient, be gentle, be loving, be humble. I thought they were so beautiful. I was sharing with you those flower stickers. I feel like those would be really pretty on here. I decided to not go with those for this project, so I'm going to save them for another one. But these stickers were made to kind of stack on top of each other. So once again, not using the same words as the inspiration piece, but you definitely can use your Cricut or something to cut those out. I'm just wanting to keep this a Dollar Tree video for today, but I added a hanger by wrapping some jute twine around the top stick as well as the opposite side, and then I did this for the bottom. And then I wanted to add some charms to this, so I intentionally stuck my stickers a little bit further to the right. You can't really tell if I didn't tell you, but I wanted to leave plenty of room for some little decor pieces. So I'm sticking my greenery as well as my burlap bow. I'm loving adding this greenery to everything. And then I had this little house from Christmas from Dollar Spot at Target, and then one of the little laser cut pieces. I glue everything down, and I feel like this is such a beautiful alternative to make your own signs from Dollar Tree. Very inexpensive and just really fun pieces that go with anyone's home decor because you can completely personalize these. I do wish I would have glued those underneath the bow, so you see I do have to pick it up and try to re-glue it down. And if you didn't have this house, you could just use a couple of the different little laser cutouts from Dollar Tree, but anything would look really pretty. I just love how it kind of dangles down there and adds so much more detail to this piece. For the last project, I wanted to create another like wall hanging, but I had this fun idea to actually use some of the blue faux leather to make like a blue jean pocket looking thing that held flowers. So that was my original thought, so I just knew I had to make up the wall hanging. So to prep this sign, I'm just using another square Dollar Tree sign. This actually came out of the nautical decor section. I peeled off the little frame around the edges because I wanted to reuse that. I put down a piece of scrapbooking paper, this faux wood look, and then replaced the frame around the edges with some hot glue. And now it's time to create my fun pocket idea. So I just kind of just went with it. I cut out a pocket-like shape, cut off the little bottom corners. I tried to get them to match and they didn't perfect, but that's okay. And then added some little faux stitching around the edges using a silver paint marker. I wanted to make sure I didn't just glue this completely flat. I wanted it to be like a pocket, so I started by gluing half of the little pocket down. I did put a pair of scissors in there just to hold it up and make sure that I am going to be able to tuck down my little flowers that I'm using for this, but trying to get the hot glue as close as the edge as possible and not gluing the top down. So then I was able to remove my scissors and put in whatever flowers I wanted. I had these adorable little picks from Walmart, but you could use any type of Dollar Tree floral or leaf if you wanted to. So stuck those down inside, added a little bow, and this might be one of my favorite projects in this video. I think it is too cute. You could add a little tag, write something across the pocket. So many things you could do with this, but I think it is perfect for spring and summer, bringing in more fun floral colors, but I also love the pop of purple.